Well, hello, my friend. Welcome to day 18 of our 31-day journey through the Proverbs. Today is going to be an extra special day, and you'll find out why in just a moment. But for now, before we get started, let's just take a deep breath together. Be present and in your own way, ask the Spirit to be with you as we go through this time together. Let's go ahead and dive on into our text for the day, which is, of course, Proverbs chapter 18. In verse 1, it says, "A man who isolates himself pursues selfishness and defies all sound judgment. A fool has no delight in understanding, but only in revealing his own opinion. When wickedness comes, contempt also comes, and with shame comes disgrace. The words of a man's mouth are like deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is like a flowing brook. To be partial to the wicked is not good, nor to deprive the innocent of justice. A fool's lips come into strife, and his mouth invites beatings. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are a snare to his soul. The words of a gossip are like dainty morsels. They go down into a person's innermost parts. One who is slack in his work is brother to him who is a master of destruction. The Lord's name is a strong tower. The righteous run to him and are safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, like an unscalable wall in his own imagination. Before destruction, the heart of man is proud, but before honor is humility. He who answers before he hears, that is folly and shame to him. A man's spirit will sustain him in sickness, but a crushed spirit, who can bear? The heart of the discerning gets knowledge. The ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. He who pleads his cause first seems right until another comes and questions him. The lot settles disputes and keeps strong ones apart. A brother offended is more difficult than a fortified city. Disputes are like the bars of a fortress. A man's stomach is filled with the fruit of his mouth. With the harvest of his lips, he is satisfied. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Those who love it will eat its fruit. Whoever finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. The poor plead for mercy, but the rich answer harshly. A man of many companions may be ruined, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Well, that's our end of chapter 18. Man, I'll tell you what, every time I read through these, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but before I actually do this, I read through the Proverbs, I think about them, I think about what I'm going to talk about, I write it down, I really reflect on it so that I can bring something of value to you. And it never ceases to amaze me. Every time, as I'm reading through, as I'm recording this, more and more stuff pops out like, oh my gosh, that's a brilliant insight. That's incredible. There's so much stuff in here that I absolutely love. What I want to focus on today is verse 13. And then I'll let you know about the secret surprise. Verse 13 is the verse that says, "He who answers before he hears, that is folly and shame to him." I think that speaks to me because one of the most valuable skills that I personally can possess as a husband, a father, a friend, and a coach to other people is the skill of listening. I'm not sure if you've ever found yourself in a situation. It just happened to me actually earlier today. I was on a Zoom call and there was all these people and we were asked to share something and people were sharing their hearts, and as they were sharing their hearts, I'm like over on the side like with my pen and paper trying to think of what I'm going to say. And I know we all do that, where somebody's talking and they're saying something profound, they're sharing their heart, and all we're doing is thinking about something else, thinking about how we're going to respond. So really being able to listen on a very deep level and understand what people have to say is an incredible skill. And I think that that's what this verse is talking about. One of the things I've encountered is people will often leave comments on my YouTube channel, and oftentimes I feel like quick to respond, like I want to respond right away. But what I've found is I really want to listen and carefully try to understand what they're saying. And so instead of trying to offer a response right away, what I've found is really helpful, both in, with these YouTube comments and also just in conversation in general, is instead of offering my opinion about something or offering feedback right away, is just to continue asking more questions, draw people out, help people to get or just be more clear and help them to articulate what it is that they're trying to communicate. And often in doing that, they kind of answer their own questions, so they don't even need my opinion. But yeah, you really learn a lot about people when you just start listening and asking more questions. So my affirmation for today is, I listen carefully before answering. Listen carefully before answering. Okay, well, that's my information. Hey, enough from me. You don't want to hear any more about me. Now on to the surprise. Today, my very special guest is my daughter, Krista. She is actually sharing her takeaway from Proverbs chapter 18. And I think her response, she and I kind of went for similar passages, and I think we're sort of tag teaming in a way. So she's focusing on verse 2 where it says, "A fool has no delight in understanding, but only in revealing his own opinion." That's the verse, and what she says is, my takeaway from the proverb as a whole is that being a fool never gets you anywhere. So true. Instead, you need to take time to understand and listen before expressing your own opinion. So glad to hear my daughter chiming in. Her affirmation for us today is, I seek out understanding. I seek out understanding. And what I love about her affirmation is that she is currently she is a 17-year-old junior in high school. And that affirmation, I see it in her life, because when it comes to her schoolwork, she often talks about her classmates and how they just want answers. They just want the answer. They don't want to understand. And I know my wife, as a high school teacher, she says the same thing. And I was a high school teacher as well. Oftentimes we just want the answer. We just want to know, what do we put down? Help me fill in the blank, instead of really seeking to understand. And I see that in my daughter. I see her seeking not just what the answers are, but to really understand. And I think that's an incredible quality to have. Well, thank you, Krista, so much for your takeaway and for your affirmation and sharing that with the community here. I want to invite you, the viewer and listener, to share your comments, share your takeaways. really process this and share something that you've gotten out of our time together. Even if it's something completely different that we haven't even talked about, that's even more interesting. Would love to hear about that. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and connect with us. There's more information in the description area about the video and how to connect with us. But for now, so long, take care, and have a wonderful rest of your day.